Hey, Hokie fans, this is Tech Sideline founder Will Stewart here to tell you about a really interesting, fun event that's going to be in Atlanta the night before Virginia Tech's season opener with South Carolina. The Hokie Way is putting on a concert featuring the band O.A.R. in a really cool venue called the Tabernacle in Atlanta. And here to discuss it with me is Matt Sams from the Hokie Way. So welcome in, Matt.
Hey, Will.
Pretty good opening, huh?
That was great.
That's excellent. So we'll get to the concert stuff in a second.
Yeah.
Again, the band is O.A.R., the venue is the Tabernacle, and it's the night before the season opener against South Carolina. But in discussing this and preparing for this video, you told me, and this is a really different thing for you guys, it's not straight up fundraising.
Right.
It's now experience or event centered. So that represents a change in the way you guys are doing business. So talk about that.
Yeah, and thanks for having me today. This is great to be here, and the set looks incredible. So Nice job to you all.
Thank you.
I kind of think of this as the start of Hokie Way 2.0, if you will. We realized that 3 or 4 years in NIL and with all the landscape changes, we've got to evolve a little bit and think about how we can engage Hokie Nation, engage our fan base, and engage our donor base in different ways than we have in the past. Traditionally we've done, year-end campaigns, which we'll do again, and relied on donors heavily, but we're trying to create new things, new experiences that are a bit different for our fan base and our community of Hokies. Unique things that create some solid engagement, ways to raise some money for student athletes and our NIL efforts with our nonprofit, and be creative in ways we do it.
So something Hokie fans need to know about me is I'm not a big live music guy. So I maybe have a different viewpoint on this stuff than a lot of people do. So we're going to talk about the band in a minute, but I want to talk about the venue first, because when we went down to the Vanderbilt game in Nashville, of which we will not speak, I think it was either the night before or the night after that I went for the first time to the Ryman Auditorium in Nashville and went to see Squeeze, and they were great. And I was familiar with their music, so that was good. Yeah. But I remember going in there, and they have a display on the wall of all of the bands that have played there. And I was blown away by all the different acts and everything. So some of these venues, and Ryman Auditorium's what I would call a smaller venue. And the Tabernacle seems to have, looking at their promotional material and photos and things like that, they seem to have a similar vibe to me. So what can you tell me about that?
Yeah, I think that's a great way to kind of put context around it. It's an old church that's been kind of refabricated through Live Nation as a concert venue, and it's renowned. They've had huge names there, and it's one of the kind of the go-to places to see live music in Atlanta. And we're pretty excited that we were able to secure it for this show and for our fan base. Kind of inside baseball, we've been working on this back to the beginning of the year, and we beat South Carolina to the punch on this. They wanted to use this venue for a similar event. We were able to secure it and then work through getting the band finalized. So that's, I think that goes to show that we're trying to think a little outside the box. We're trying to create some experiences that are, again, a little different and unique. And this venue is going to be one that's going to do that, I think, for our fan base who are there.
So you beat South Carolina to it. So was it their NIL organization that was doing it?
Believe so. Let me take a step back further from that. Nick Rush, who's on our Hokie Way board, and I've been working on this really closely, and big thanks to Nick for all of his help on this. Our original idea was to do a big thing at Mercedes-Benz Stadium and have all 4 fan bases who are going to be in Atlanta that weekend, Virginia Tech, South Carolina, Syracuse, and Tennessee, do a big NIL fundraising concert together.
Very cool.
And have it kind of be quadrants of the stadium, get a huge name. The stadium just couldn't do that with 2 games in the same weekend. It was just logistically impossible. So we had to pivot a little bit and look for other venues. And the Tabernacle was by far and away the most recommended. And working with those folks, they've been incredible. They are huge, been a huge help in getting all this stuff planned and trying to navigate some of the stuff we've never done before. So it's been fun on that front. But I'm very excited about this. I think it's going to be a great night and a great experience for Hokies who make the trip.
It's interesting you mentioned Nick Rush, because Nick he created and ran Commonwealth NIL for a while until it merged with Triumph NIL. And I remember conversations with Nick from the very beginning. Nick was like, we're going to try to get Metallica in Lane Stadium.
Yeah.
And that's great. This is years ago.
Yeah.
And, eventually it happened. And the athletic department made some money on it. So tell me about the physical structure of the Tabernacle. I've seen pictures of it. It holds 1,500, 2,000?
Holds 2,000.
2,000.
We're kind of hoping to be more in the 1,500 range, just so there's a bit more room to spread out a little bit and not be so crowded. But the general admission floor is about 1,000 people capacity, and there's 2 balconies. We're kind of calling it the VIP balcony, which is the first one, and it kind of wraps around in a U shape around the entire venue. And then there's an upper one it's also kind of a VIP area, but it's a general admission seating area up there too. So if you want to have a general admission seat, you can sit up there. So it's a really unique venue, and I think it's going to have create some great opportunities for Hokies to have a good time together.
And speaking of Hokies, this is strictly being marketed to Hokies. This is not a general concert for the public.
It's a private event for Hokies, and that's what we're trying to create. And it's only been marketed on social media and email to Hokies, and we just need folks to buy tickets and show up and have a good time.
So let's talk about the band. Again, not being a live music guy, you said O.A.R, and I said, who's that? Turns out they've been around for a long time, since 1996.
Something like that, yeah.
Formed in Rockville, Maryland, and they have a reputation for being a good live band, right? So let me give you a little anecdote. So this is the Tech Solutions studio, because they've got the naming rights. A guy named Matt Talent, and Tech Solutions is his company. And after you and I set all this up, I said, "Hey, Matt, I've got some tickets to see O.A.R in Atlanta. What do you think?" He goes, "I love that band.
Yeah,
I'm pumped. Absolutely, I'll go."
Cool.
That was not my reaction, because I'd never heard of them.
Yeah.
But, so what can you tell me about them?
Yeah, I mean, I saw them in 2003 as a freshman here at Virginia Tech, to date myself, in Burris, and it was awesome. It was
see, when I was a student, George Thorogood played Burris,
there you go.
So it's a little bit longer ago than that.
So no, they're a super fun band. Guitars, horns, piano, all that kind of stuff. You could kind of quantify them as a light jam band, but not really. More of a rock. All kind of different genres mixed together. And so, yeah, they're from Maryland. They're from Mid-Atlantic. I've seen them. They were put on a great show, and I think they're going to do the same for us. Couldn't be more excited to have them.
But there's more to it than just the band. Tell me about the whole evening, because there's some other stuff going on. Yeah,
so we thought it'd be cool to do an opener before O.A.R goes on, and we decided to see if we could do Tech Talk Live, like a special on location live version of Tech Talk Live in Atlanta. So work through that, and thanks to Zach Mackey and Mike Burnup, they were cool with it. We're gonna have them go on at 7:30, do their live show for about an hour, obviously, and have different segments with guests, and working through that guest list, and should be able to announce that in the next few days. So that's gonna be great as an opener, and then we'll just turn the stage over quickly, and O.A.R will go on hopefully around 8:45, 9.
Yeah, so the timing of everything, I'm sitting here looking at the article we ran on it. Doors open at 7 o'clock, Tech Talk Live at 7:30, concert approximately 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
We know how these things can go. And do you anticipate O.A.R will play for hour and a half? Something like that.
Yeah.
All right, so what are the different, I'm going to quiz you, I've got it in front of me, but what are the different ticketing and seating options?
So we've got general admission floor, and those are $100 with some fees on top of that. We've got our general admission balcony, which are $150.
$150.
And then we've got our VIP balcony, which comes with 2 drink tickets for $250.
So again, you got the floor, then the middle one is the VIP balcony, and then the higher one is the general admission balcony. And folks, when you hear the word fees, you're like, oh, great. So the $100 floor tickets, the fees are only about $7.
Right.
And for the general admission balcony, the fees are only about $8. So it's not going to be like a StubHub situation where you think you're getting something for a certain amount, and then there's another 30% tacked on to it.
And that's stuff we really can't control. It just is what it is. And we're using a partner tool to the Ticketmaster, and that's how it works. That's how things work these days. Yeah.
So again, it sounds like a really cool event. There's more going on than just the concert.
Yep.
It's being marketed strictly to Hokie fans, so everybody you see is going to be a Virginia Tech fan or somebody affiliated with Virginia Tech. And it sounds like a lot of fun. Is there anything else you want to add?
2 things quickly. I think, yes, we're using this as a fundraising vehicle. other events like this are going to happen down the road. I also want to mention quickly that as we're changing and evolving a little bit, we're also accepting new applications for charitable partners. We go through 2-year cycles. It's time for that first cycle to come to an end here in September. So through the end of the month of August, we're accepting charitable partnership applications from charities across Virginia. We're trying to broaden our footprint a little bit to serve charitable missions in Richmond, 757, Northern Virginia, et cetera, where our fan base is. So if anybody knows any nonprofits or works for nonprofits, they want to be associated with Virginia Tech and with the Hokie Way, please apply on our website. It's very easy to do. It should take about 15 minutes tops. And then the second thing is we added a few new board members, and I want to touch on them quickly. Emma Lemley, former softball player here, Lisa Carlish, Quentin Nottingham, Jim McAllister, a few athletes, a few non-athletes. All of them have been great additions, and we're excited about what they're going to bring to our efforts in terms of fundraising and programming and other ventures. So cool stuff.
All right, good to know. So Hokie fans, August 30th, the Tabernacle in Atlanta, O.A.R, and you heard Matt say earlier on that South Carolina wanted to do this. So that's a challenge being laid down for you. Come out, represent, make the Tabernacle happy that you're there instead of South Carolina, and have a good time while you're at it. And it benefits the Hokie Way, which benefits Virginia Tech athletes.
Yep.
So
just head to our website. Tickets are right there.
Yeah. So the hokieway.org, and then you'll see something right there to click through and buy the tickets. So I'll be there. I don't know if that's a hook or not.
I think it is. I think it is.
Nick's in the back laughing. So anyway, I hope to see you guys there. And Matt, thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me.